What is an adventure? Everyone travels for different reasons. Some people just want to escape, some people want new experiences, and others are hoping to grow. I definitely had an adventure when I was climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, and I want to tell you about it. So one of the last things I did before I went on the trip was actually book the flight. Of course, I waited to the last minute to do it, and it was an experience getting there. I had a fairly long flight to get to Doha. I had like a 15-hour layover. Then I had to fly to Tanzania. 8 hours in on flight 1, about 3 hours, 40 minutes left till we land, and I'll have a 15-hour layover, but at least they have some snacks. Bye. So it's actually kind of funny why I even went to Mount Kilimanjaro in the first place. I was reading someone's online dating profile one night, and it was their lifetime ambition to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I literally knew nothing about it. I said, hey, how hard could it be? I did some research, and then I booked the trip. For the last 12 hours, I was in the business lounge, which is basically behind that wall. Overall, good experience. Had internet, had some food, and as I was leaving, I had to take a pee. So I went over to the urinal, and someone had thrown up in it. So that was interesting. I have about an hour till my flight takes off, so I'm going to walk around the airport and see what I can find. The ceiling's actually really cool. Thank you. Good news, no one's next to me. Bad news, 6-hour flight, and there's only one TV. So this is pretty cool, so I can now officially say I have stepped foot in Africa. Now I have to try to get a visa. I just got a visa issued to me in less than 10 minutes. It's faster than going through customs. I think my bag is here. Yep, that's me. And now I just need to see if someone's picking me up. Just met my group. We just had our briefing, met the guides, really excited, bought some water, so I have water when we start the trail tomorrow. And now I have to pack my bag. I need a day pack that has all my essentials for the day, and then my duffel is gonna have all my stuff for in camp. So I just wanna show everyone really quick what I did with my bag. I actually packed my duffel bag in my suitcase. Don't plug one of these 110 watt strip into a 220 or 240 outlet. It'll cause this to smoke and light on fire, like what just happened a couple of minutes ago. It is officially day 1 of the climb. I'm still in bed. We take off in about an hour and a half, so I need to finish packing, get some food, hydrate, and then I'll be out of here. Last night was the first time sleeping in a bed for about 2 days. Probably got about 7 hours of sleep. It's the crew behind me, or half of us, and we have a 2.5 hour drive to get to the mountain. This should be fun. Took a quick pit stop before we're on the mountain, probably about 30-45 minutes away, and everyone bought like water and healthy things, but I bought dessert. I found a monkey. All right, we're 2.5 hours in, day 1. What do we think so far?
It's wet.
Little damp.
Well maintained. It's well maintained.
Beautiful.
Well maintained and beautiful.
Excellent company.
All right, so we made it to camp in about 4.5 hours. The itinerary said it would take 5 to 6, so I guess we have a pretty good group. I'm gonna do a quick pan. So I think we're headed head that direction tomorrow. We are in the Mountain Hardware tents, and then I have a little mess tent here. So we arrived and we had some popcorn, coffee, tea, cocoa, and some hot milk thing. How's everyone feeling?
Solid.
We're at 9,400 feet right now. And overall, it's a really nice day. Really good group. There's 8 of us in total, plus the support team. The trail was fairly easy. Nice trail. We started in it's like a tropical rainforest type area, and then at the end we got above that, so the terrain changed a little more. Can I have some coffee, please?
Yes. One.
2 scoops. And can I have 1 scoop of the chocolate as well? Call that a mocha.
Mocha.
Thank you so much. That's how we get woken up. All right, we've been going for just over 2.5 hours today. I think we're a little over halfway to where we're stopping. Terrain's been pretty cool. A lot of rocks. It's almost like we're hiking down a small creek, or I guess up a small creek. Guys, how's everyone doing?
Woot. Look at that, look at that, look at that.
Bird. So we made it to camp today, day 2, I think right around just before 1 o'clock. And today, man, it rained. The theme is definitely rain and waterfalls. There's some beautiful waterfalls. The morning started out awesome. It was sunny, super great visibility. I woke up this morning and tried to get some pictures of the summit. It was the first time I was actually able to see the summit, so that was really cool. It's like snow-capped and everything. Probably hiking for about an hour, hour and a half, and then the rain just kept building and building and building. If you look at it outside right now, you can see it's pouring. Everyone is drenched. A lot of people were getting pretty cold, but we did the hike in about 4 hours and 40 minutes, and I think the traditional speed is 5 to 6 hours. So I can't complain there. We had about a 1,000 meter elevation gain over supposedly 3 miles. Now, I think one of the best things as the days go on is that you get to know the group more and more. So the first day, everyone kind of does their intro, what they do. But today, I learned a lot more about people, and you really get to see what people are passionate about. So that's been great, and I'm excited for that to continue. The first couple days on the trip, it rained a lot. And I was there with my Gore-Tex gear. I thought I was awesome, but I got lazy. And on the second day of it being pouring rain, I didn't put my rain pants on. We got into camp and I was drenched. I was freezing. Other people were in the same exact situation. And when you're in nature, you know, it really is about taking care of yourself. It's about being proactive, because as soon as you stop being proactive, you get yourself in bad positions. And I was actually really worried about, am I gonna have enough gear to get me to the top and back down, because everything was drenched. Day 3, baby. Mentally feeling great. Body is fine. But it is cold out. Today we're going up to 15,000 feet to the lava tower, and then back down to 12,600 feet. I stayed up later than everyone last night and took some beautiful pictures of the mountain. Just kind of got lucky with that. Got some stars in the background. And now I have to get ready. One thing I will note is that the packing list is horrible. It rains so much during rainy season and it gets so cold, so none of your stuff dries. So I've been thinking for the last couple hours about what I'm gonna do with gear for the next couple days. So I need to give a special shout out to someone very special in my life, a very special woman. That's my mother. Mom, happy birthday. And behind me, you will see Mount Kilimanjaro, the summit.
What shall we do?
15,000. On day 3, we went to the lava tower, and that was 15,100 feet. That's the highest I'd ever been. It was a great hike, and when we got to the top, it started pouring. We had an awesome lunch that our chef Simon made, and then we had to head back down. So we went down this valley into this canyon, and all the pouring rain created these mud rivers that we had to cross. I think a lot of people were really surprised by it, and they really weren't expecting to have to jump across these like rivers that had just formed.
Helping.
Who's the cookie monster? Nom 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 nom. All right, day 3 in the books. We started out around 12,500 feet, went up to the lava tower, which was 15,100, so that's the highest I've ever been. And then down to camp where we are tonight, I think it's 12,600 feet. Probably the best day so far, really enjoyed it, and the reason why is because as we were hiking, you could actually see the summit of the mountain, where we're going to be in a couple days, and you just looked up and it's covered in snow, and you're like, wow, that's going to be quite the hike. So far, everything's been great. Today, everyone had the appropriate rain gear on, which I think made a massive difference, so when we got to camp, we were dry. And the rest of the day, I think everyone's just going to relax. Hopefully, the rain goes away, and I can get some awesome shots tonight and tomorrow morning. Everything was dry, and that was one of my big concerns because I only brought a limited amount of gear and most of it was trash, so now I'm pretty much rejuvenated. Might not smell the best, but it's definitely dry, and that's what matters. We have the rest of the day in camp, just had a fantastic lunch, got here in I think just over 4 hours. So far our group has been awesome. Everyone has different background, different experiences. There's a million more trips I want to do after hearing the adventures that everyone else has had. But it's nice because if people had bad attitudes, I think it would change the trip entirely. But everyone's been great so far. Day 5 of the trip, just woke up, a little chilly, but today is a significant milestone because within 24 hours, we will be at the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. So far, I'm feeling pretty good. Mentally, fantastic. I don't remember the last time mentally I felt this good, actually. Body, pretty good. Calves are a little sore, but besides that, not much else going on. I did get some serious sunburn yesterday, so my neck is really sore. It's just radiating heat. But besides that, I really can't complain.
Come on,
So day 5 was a success so far. We made it to base camp. We did it in just under 3 hours, which was great. And once we were here, we then did a practice hike for tonight where we went up the steepest section, which again had some bouldering-esque elements to it. We had lunch, and now we're in the phase between lunch and dinner, which is at 5:30, where we're supposed to be sleeping in our tents. I slept for about an hour, and now I cannot fall asleep to save my life, so I have a solid 3 hours before I can do anything.
We're going all tough. Cold water. I could do this.
How's my mama doing?
Mama? My African son.
You good?
Did you recover from our hike today?
Cover?
Recover?
Do you feel good? Always feel good.
He's a Jedi.
How did you feel?
I feel great, man.
You told me he was the Terminator.
Okay, how's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling right now?
A little dehydrated,
good.
but okay. Just need to keep drinking some
And
water.
headache, nausea, or altitude issues, anything like that? How was your day hike?
That was fun.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked climbing up the rocks.
That was a good idea.
And I was just going to say, except for the rocks.
Yeah.
But we liked the pulley.
Yeah.
Good
Pole
pace.
was good.
Yeah.
Is that pace okay for everyone? Like the one who start from this camp to that Kosovo camp?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Yeah,
job, G.
nice and slow.
So speaking of layers, what's the strategy? Wear everything tomorrow morning, or maybe not? Rain gear and rain pants, or what do you think?
Yeah, we do say 6 layers at the top, depending what the kind of clothes you have. Some people have very good quality of the clothes with everyday different brands. So, but we do say about 6 layers at the top.
6 layers for the top.
Yeah, 4 layers at the bottom.
So should we start with these jackets though?
But always depending how you feel at the beginning. If you feel like it's too warm and it's not that comfortable, you need to pack that extra layers with you.
It took us 5 hours and 40 minutes to actually summit, which is a pretty good time. And the first 2 hours were fairly easy. It was a beautiful night. You could see the stars, you could see the moon. You didn't even need your headlamp on going up. But then this fog came in, and it got really windy and cold. And we slowed down a little bit. And the trail, which was dirt, turned to snow. So we're literally walking on snow. People started to get cold, and I think everyone just kind of went to somewhere in their head, and it was one of those left foot, right foot type things until we got to the summit. All right, it's about 11:30 p.m. It's still technically day 5, but it's summit day. We're all up, getting our gear on. Temperature's actually not that bad. Winds aren't crazy. Half clear sky. Well, I'm pretty impressed by, they said they're gonna give us biscuits. And look at this, it looks like it's like an Oreo with like a strawberry filling type thing. Yum. Quick tip, if you put your Nalgene upside down, things freeze from the top down. When you actually open it up, then you'll still be able to drink. So when you're walking with your Nalgene in your bag and it's below freezing, have it upside down. Trick here is definitely pole. It's higher altitude. Started at about 15,300 feet. We're still pretty early on. We began at 12:24. This is one of the more technical stretches to get to the top. It still is a non-technical hike though. Mumbo Tum Tum means what's up, Brady. So that's how you get all the ladies here. Alright, we are just over 3 hours in, a little over 5,000 meters, and it's getting pretty windy. So I think some of us are getting cold. Terrain's changing again. Still doing switchbacks for the most part, but we are on legitimate snow now for about half the time. Do a quick pan so you can see what it is we're looking at. Alright, we're like facing their own demons up here. But look at the sunrise. We made it! How do we feel, guys? Look at the ice shelf thing, the icicles. So the one problem with going up really high is that you have to come back down. And for anyone who's done a good amount of backpacking or hiking, you know the down is always the worst because it destroys your knees. I actually got pretty tired, as did everyone in our group, so I don't have a ton of footage of us going down. When we did get into base camp, we had a quick lunch, and then we actually had to go another 5 or 6 miles and drop, I think, another 5,000 feet that day. So by the end of the day, we were completely exhausted, and really all we wanted to do was sleep. Coming up, I wasn't able to shoot much because it's pretty tough. We're walking down now, as you can see, but like, look at the grade of the stuff we were going up. I mean, that's no joke. This is 19,000 feet. It's pretty steep. All right, so I have been up since 11 p.m. yesterday. We successfully climbed the summit, so it has been a very long day and I am exhausted. I think in terms of all the hiking and backpacking I've done, the summit climb itself was probably the most challenging. It mixed altitude sickness due to elevation. It mixed cold weather, high winds. We were literally left at midnight, you know, all types of stuff. And we basically got up in 5 hours and 40 minutes, which was pretty impressive. The other thing too is just how unique our team was climbing. You know, no one was a hero. It was a team effort. Everyone struggled at one point. Everyone struggled in different ways. And everyone else helped to the ability that they could. Between hours 2 through 5 hours and 10 minutes, the climb was miserable. There was mist, it was cold. Everyone was like fighting their own thing in their head. We walked the ridge line to get to the highest point on the summit, and the view was absolutely spectacular. I think it was one of the most breathtaking things I have ever seen. So that in and of itself was worth it. The climb down, slow, brutal. A lot of the team Again, was feeling altitude sickness, so we had to go slow. People were running out of water, but we got down and we finished the day. Just got into camp. I'm exhausted. I didn't document too much today because it has been very grueling, but I have climbed the tallest freestanding mountain in the world. So that's a pretty good story I have. So a lot of people have asked me, was it hard? And I think there were certainly aspects that were hard and that were challenging. Now, with that said, anyone who's in okay shape will be able to do this hike. It's the things that you don't expect, like altitude sickness, that are going to be the limiting factor for if you make it to the top or not. For me, the hardest part was halfway through summit day. I started to hit a wall, I was in pain, but as I kept going, due to the support of my group, I got through it and made it to the top without any real issues.
Day 7, and I am feeling pretty good this morning. I got about 10 hours of sleep. I haven't stood up yet, but the legs generally feel fine. The only area I have some pain is my calves, so just some fatigue there. Feeling very rested. And when I look back on yesterday, I think one of the main reasons that we were all exhausted at the end of the day, besides the fact that we only got like 4 hours of sleep the day before and we're walking for 15 hours, is because we didn't have enough calories in our body. We woke up for the hike, we had a couple cookies and some coffee, walked, we were eating bars all day. We had lunch around noon, but lunch probably wasn't more than 500-600 calories at most. And then we had to walk another 5 hours to the campsite. We did have dinner, which obviously helped, but I think that's a lot of the reason why people were under the weather. Today we have a 3-hour walk till we get to one of the gates so we can leave. Somewhat sad, I'd love to stay out here another week, but I guess every journey must end at some point. So every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end, right? Last day, everyone's generally feeling pretty good, and we are now hiking down. Trail is much easier on the knees today. And we have the crew behind me.
Jambo bwana, habari gani? Mzuri sana, wageni wakaribishwa Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata. Kianza machame, hakuna matata. Na shira, hakuna matata.
One thing I really do want to point out and give the staff credit for is their attention to detail. Little things like remembering whose gear goes in what tent. Or in the morning, they'd make me mochas, right? I had to be difficult and get the coffee and the chocolate mixed together. But they'd actually spend time like mixing it together instead of just giving it to me. And over 7 days on a mountain in the wilderness, that attention to detail really does make the trip so much more positive.
We got tip from you. It's a very nice tip. You need to let the guys to know how we break down that tip. We got 26 products, and each one got $45. Water filter is he got a 50, and dishwasher got 60. The guy who working on toilet every day in morning and night time he got 70. 2 waiters, one got 70 and one got 80 and one got 70. Innocent, the summit guy, got 80. Emmanuel, the assistant cook, got 80. And Simon, the cook, got 150. Thank you. So Tilaf got 200. And that time was 200.
So this trip was amazing. It truly was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I met fantastic people. I had a fantastic time. and I honestly couldn't have asked for anything more. In fact, I didn't even want to come back once we finished. Most of my life I've been searching for something, and to this day, I don't know what that something is. However, I know I'm not going to find it unless I go out and look for it. A lot of times I say I'm one of the luckiest people in the world, and I honestly believe that. Been able to travel and have very unique experiences. I've been part of some fantastic organizations, and that's just laid the base and the foundation for what I have now. I'm confident that I'm ultimately going to find what it is I'm looking for, but until then, I'm just going to have to plan my next adventure to go and find it.
Nailed it! You have it on video.